It's been almost 15 years since a woman from Sevier County disappeared without a trace after a mysterious fire. And while the chance of finding new evidence in this case might be fading, the determination of investigators to solve it is not. They say the trail has not gone cold in the search for Theresa Mcmullin. 10 News anchor Brittany Bailey has this Appalachian Unsolved.
Tucked into the quiet hills of Sevier County, you'll find the place Theresa Mcmullin used to call home.
Lived in a kind of a home-built cabin back in the mountains, lived by herself.
Down a long driveway, now covered in leaves, are the remnants of a once cozy cabin, now turned long-forgotten crime scene.
The best way to describe it, it basically burned all the way down. It was what they call maybe a self-extinguishing fire. The fire, it was still smoldering and burning, but it had apparently burned for a while.
It was September 12th, 2010.
All that was left, was the floor joist and a little of the flooring over here on this, which would have been the kitchen area.
Investigators scoured the ashes for clues and for Theresa Mcmullin, but on both fronts, they came up empty.
We knew Miss McMullin was missing at that point. We knew something had happened to her.
Theresa Mcmullin was 63 years old, mostly kept to herself, and was sick enough to use oxygen and take multiple medications. And investigators fear those medications that helped her led someone to hurt her.
There was some information that people had been sneaking in her house at night while she was asleep, stealing her medications that had been going on prior to this.
Back when this fire first happened, we reported Mcmullin's son was arrested at the scene on unrelated charges. Since then, the focus has stayed on the people surrounding her son. People investigators say knew the medications Mcmullin had and would have done whatever it took to get them, even if that meant murder.
We believe somebody entered the home, and again, whatever happened inside the house, only two people know, and one of them's not with us anymore. And something happened, and she ended up coming to some type of harm.
What type of harm, they still don't know. After nearly 15 years, there's still no sign of Mcmullin. That's despite a search years later in 2015 that included parts of Cock County and the national park.
No physical evidence in this case.
So what will it take to solve this case?
Somebody coming forward and talking to us about what happened.
Even years later, investigators don't have answers about the actual fire either. The State Bomb and Arson report shows they couldn't figure out how or where the fire started, ruling the cause undetermined. But this investigator is still undeterred, saying giving up is not an option.
It's my job, number one, and secondly, I care about these cases. At some point, I'm not going to be here anymore, but it's going to be passed on to somebody else, but I don't ever want these cases to be forgot about.
Investigator Jeff McCarter says the only relative he's in touch with is Mcmullin's brother occasionally. So it's truly the investigators in this case who have been the ones pushing for answers after almost 15 years. But they still want to hear from you. If you have a tip in this case, you can reach the sheriff's office at the number at the bottom of your screen.